Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Lewis. Had a chance to check out the film yesterday, and I got to introduce James Gunn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for the screening. Dude, wonderful job.
Thank you.
I know you're a young person. Was it difficult, like, pulling it off? Because it's kind of creepy.
Yeah, I really just try to put myself in the mindset of the character. In ways, there's actually a duality. He has two sides, two sides of the same coin, whereas there's the unmasked Brandon, who is, sort of a conflicted, psychopathic, in a way, and developing adolescent. And then the masked Brandon, who's basically just a completely psychopathic, cold, dead killer. So it was interesting to kind of, dance around that line there between the two characters.
I've seen you do other stuff, and you're a likable actor. But during the movie, I wanted you to lose. That's a good job, right? Because you were the bad guy. How did it feel seeing your performance in that light in the movie? Did you get that same reaction? Did you forget you're watching yourself?
Yeah, well, I mean, when it all boils down, it's a story. I'm watching a story, and I didn't really think about it as myself. Mostly because when you're filming it on set, you're not seeing the finished product, and it's so much more in depth and different than you could ever expect it to be. With all the sound engineering and all the visual effects. So yeah, it scared me. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Likewise. So as far as like VFX, what was the percentage of practical versus, CGI? Because we know horror films are mostly done with more practical effects. Yeah. What do you think the give and take was there?
Yeah, give or take. I don't know if I can provide an exact percentage.
Like, was your mask a real mask?
Yes. Yeah, it's a real mask. Actually, originally we had fringes on the cape, but we decided that was a little bit too difficult in post. But yeah, no. So there was definitely a delicate balance between the two. I'd say probably. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's half and half. I know one definitely outweighed the other, but I'd have to get back to you on that.
Oh, yeah, we'll get back to me. Here's my number. I'm just kidding. But, okay, so are you a fan of comic books? Is that something you were into before getting this?
I've always wanted to read comic books, and I've just never really found the time or found the place to really buy any or read any. But I'm a huge fan of the MCU. Okay. I've grown up watching all the Marvel movies and Iron Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man, Spider-Man. All of those have inspired me growing up immensely, and just been a very integral cornerstone within my own development. So,
could you see Brightburn being a villain in that universe?
Well, I mean, listen, but I'd love to see Brightburn's story continued. I think Brandon's, his chronology is far from over. So I'd love to, explore what he does next.
I found out that was something that was, was kept in mind during production of the film, is actually sequels, maybe a cinematic kind of universe type of thing. Do you know where the story would head in your mind?
I think what I would see happening is the universe expanding beyond just Brandon. And I think there's maybe some nods to that, and that's what I would be interested in seeing, it essentially turning into a universe rather than just the one story.
I'm big on visual directing, and I don't know if or visual acting, I don't know what you would call it. Your looks, what inspired you to give those? If looks could kill, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I was just trying to capture really the essence of, the typical murderous child. I was trying to embrace the subtlety of it because that's kind of who I am as an actor. I prefer subtlety. Lots of times I've been told to go more over the top than I am. So I really just tried to embrace the subtlety of it because I think that makes it more eerie than over the top.
What do you think of the mask? Or overall the entire look of Brightburn? Because I from what I understand, James Gunn actually did several versions of it.
Yeah, we had the costume designer, Autumn. She made tons and tons of masks. There was, at the production office, there was 3 or 4 walls that were covered in masks. and once we reached the final product, I couldn't have been more happy with it. I think it looked extremely frightening. I loved the laces in the front, and I think it's just going to be an iconic, part of the movie, an iconic symbol for it.
I think so as well. Would it be crazy to see an action figure?
Funny story. I actually had someone make one of those little Funko Pop figures of me and send it to me. It didn't have the mask, but yeah, no, I'd love to see action figures. I think that'd be super, super cool.
Did you keep any of the props from the production? Maybe even a cape or a mask or something?
Yeah, well, I'm in talks with the costume designers about some of the things I can keep. But there's definitely things that they said that they'd give me. There's a gym shirt that I wear that I wrote Brandon B on in the Brightburn font, so to speak. So I'd love to have that. I don't think I can get the mask, although we did have several. We did have several of the mask, different stages of it throughout the movie. But yeah,
I love where it was filmed, the farm. Watching it's very creepy, but how was it like? Because I was told that there's a rumor it's haunted. The farm.
It's pretty eerie. I mean, there were some massive silos that were pretty eerie looking, some holes in them, and one of the locations near the house actually, there was a barn that was overgrown with moss and the roof was collapsed in, and that was eerie. So I mean, there was definitely an eerie theme for a lot of the locations in the movie, and I can see how there may have been a rumor about a haunting, for sure.
Have you been able to watch this film with your peers, like friends your age, and what do they think?
Well, I haven't watched it with my friends yet. I'll be doing that very soon, though. Come Memorial Day weekend. But I have watched it myself with a small audience of I assume critics, and they seem to be very taken aback by it in a good way. So
yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, it's actually funny. A lot of my friends, they're under the impression that they're going to go see it and it's not going to be scary because I'm in it. But I mean, it scared me. I was caught off guard, even though I knew what was going to happen. So I think they're in for something that they're not expecting.
This was actually among my top films to watch this year because the trailer just blew me away. Did you feel any of that impact? Like maybe with your social media, people just, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
Because, it actually spoofs another story. The trailer does a little bit. It imitates another story that we know in the comics. Wink, wink. But people were like shocked how the trailer went. Did you notice that when the promotional material started?
Yeah. No, I definitely got, messages and comments about the shock value of the trailer and the impression that it's given a lot of people. And I was overjoyed by the reception it got. So.
And then last question, because I always ask the younger actors this, and my son's 10, by the way. And
I'm 15.
15, all right. So were you 12 when you filmed the film?
I was 14.
Okay.
But the character is 12.
How do you juggle, and this is probably going to be used as advice to other kids, is that have big dreams, acting, and stuff like that. How do you separate your time being a kid, doing homework, and then acting?
Yeah,
what advice would you give?
It's all about delegation. There's probably the most important thing to know for someone who has a dream like this, or any dream really, is that you got to make sacrifices. I mean, I've missed out on things for auditions and so on. But yeah, sacrifice is the key to success.